self-care practice is vital for your well-being and health. And this is the entire well-being and health of your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual self. So it affects all aspects of you. Now, this is something I am devoted to. I am devoted to self-care, and self-care is not selfish. It's definitely not selfish. And self-care is supposed to fill your cup so that you feel your life force energy has been revitalized and refreshed. Self-care is so vital. So we're going to go over today what self-care practice is and how you can start implementing it into your life, because it is going to make a profound difference for your well-being. And I know right now, especially now with everybody's, almost a year into this pandemic and uncertainty, what better time to up your self-care practice if you already have one and you've been kind of slack on it a little bit, or if you're not doing one at all. Here's the perfect opportunity to dive deep into this. So self-care is supposed to refuel us. It's supposed to be a practice that you look forward to, something that you get to create for yourself. So self-care practice isn't done in this energy. Oh, fine, I have to do something. I better take time for myself. Andrea says it's good for me, so here I go and do it. No. Self-care has to come from, it's time. It's time to make a change, and I want to feel better. And I'm going to create a practice in my day that I get to look forward to. That's the difference. It's supposed to refuel you rather than take from you. Okay? That's the number one key. So we don't come in this with, I guess I have to do this. Okay, let's come into this practice with, I get to do this for myself. I'm worth it to do this for myself. Okay? Amazing. So one of the most important parts of your self-care practice means slowing down. Means that you have to actually schedule a slotted amount of time to do this for you. Now, I know some really busy people, and I have clients who I've coached with this who have very busy lives. Their self-care practice has these little micro doses of time for themselves throughout the day. So slotted in what we call transitions. So first thing in the morning, they get 5 minutes of meditation or breath. Let's just make this up. And then they transition from one meeting to the next meeting. But before they run, they take breath. That's a self-care practice. So self-care practice doesn't mean you have to give up a whole heck of a lot of time. You get to find the micro moments through the day that you get to practice loving on yourself. So it has to come from a place of slowing down, literally coming into a place where we stop, be still, and become present. This is where the magic happens. Self-care practices aren't done in a racy, busy, stressful state. No. That is a whole different aspect of you. We need to create space to slow down, become quiet, and drop inward. Okay? So there is no rules about how long self-care has to take, but it is a commitment to daily practice. It is a non-negotiable for you, especially you guys right now, especially if you are not feeling awesome. We're going to up that self-care game. We're going to up it today. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of ideas. And this is the responsible adult. This is your responsibility to start implementing this into your life. Nobody else can do it but you. And that's where the magic comes from, knowing that you have the power within you to make a change. You have the power to show up for you each day. And if you do that, your cup is full, your life force energy is elevated, and you then feel more alive. Am I supposed to stop? Pardon me, my producer just sent me a photo here. I don't know if I'm... Yeah, my screen is being very blurry this whole time. So should we start again? It's good now. Okay, it's good now. Okay, technical glitch stuff, but we still keep rolling with the beautiful flow. And then it's doing it again now, Jess. There we go. Okay. So where was I? What kind of self-care practices can we implement? Well, we're going to start with your emotional self. So the emotional self, expressing your emotions. How often do you express your emotions? So if you're angry, do you have an outlet where you can release angry? Or if you're sad, do you have an outlet how to express your sadness? Now, this is not a projection onto someone you're living with or a partner. This is in your own space and own safety. Okay, so make sure you're not stuffing your emotions down. So expressing your emotions might be hiring a coach, hiring a therapist, hiring someone who you feel safe with to start to express the emotions. Or you can just express them freely on your own. Excuse yourself and go into a safe place and have a good cry, or take a pillow to the mouth and let a good scream out. Like, really, you guys, as adults, we're not taught to express our emotions, but it is the most important thing for our well-being to not stuff and express. So that's one of the self-care practices for emotional. Journaling your thoughts, your emotions, your world down. We call it brain dumping, which means you're getting all of the stuff and putting it down onto paper. And so it sort of classifies into the mental aspect of health as well. So you're getting all of your thoughts out. And journaling you can go to the dollar store and get a dollar book and a beautiful pen and just have that as a daily practice. Or you can look up journal prompts. So there's lots of good, if you go to Google, look up journal prompting for self-care practices, or journal prompting to express emotions, or journal promptings for a morning routine. So you can start writing, journaling, brain dumping. Let it out on paper. Don't be perfect with it. Don't think about what to say. Just let it out. And then, of course, you guys have heard me speak about this. And if you're new to the show, I'm a huge advocate for gratitude. It is a solid key foundation for your emotional and your entire well-being's health. But a great self-care practice is that you wake up in the morning and you take time to express gratitude for your life. Because if you really took the time to look around you and look what you actually have right in front of you, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. You have breath, you have life, you have a house over your head, you have family, you have whatever it is. There's always something to be grateful for. Even in the midst of grief or stress or overwhelm or uncertainty, those emotions boggle the gratitude, sweep it away, and then we come into this beautiful state and we go, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, gratitude isn't about just writing it down or speaking it out loud and say, I'm so grateful for my house, and then I go up and I do my next activity. No. I am so grateful for my house, or whatever you're grateful for. Is you put your hand over your heart, you close your eyes, and you feel that gratitude. Now, that is key. Don't just express it through words and through paper. Like, feel it, embody it. Cool. Mental self-care. Be very aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, because the thoughts that you're thinking create the reality that's in front of you. For example, my husband's so messy and he never listens to me. My husband is so messy and he never listens to me is how your reality is showing up. So every time you see him, you're believing these stressful thoughts. You're just going to look at him with this anger and vengeance. How could you turn that around? How could you find the next best thought that is a feel-good thought? So simply, what's the opposite of that? My husband likes to lay things all around the house, and he gratefully expresses himself. And then we start to look through the eyes of love, unconditional love, compassion, and understanding to others. And once we check it up here, what are those thoughts in here that are stressing you out? Write them down on paper. Get them down so you are aware of them, because they are going to keep coming and coming. And then you get to find the next best thought, a feel-good thought. that is the opposite of what you were just thinking. And then you get to go create your reality based on the new good feeling thought. Massive life-changing tool that I got given probably 12 years ago. It is still a self-care practice. I am very conscious and aware of the thoughts that I'm thinking. Okay. Oh, breath. Beautiful, gorgeous, delicious breath. Huge self-care practice. Now, this one's implemented in several different ways. So let's say that your schedule feels too much to allot like a good chunk of self-care time. So let's say 15, 20 minutes is too much for you to commit to. How many times in your day could you stop, pause, and take 10 full breaths? I bet you could find 20 times in the day to do that or more. Now add that up, that's about 20 minutes. 10 full breaths take at least a minute. Powerful. Breath is so important. So important. What it does is it takes you from that busy go, 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 fight or flight up in our head, closing our eyes, shuts down the intellect, drops us back into ourselves, and we go, just a minute. Best self-care practice you can gift yourself. And it's so easy, and you can do it anywhere, anytime. Check out some podcasts, some books, some people who you can follow that are inspiring to you or motivating to you, that drive this something in you to want to be better. That's a self-care practice I just found a beautiful podcast yesterday, and while I was cleaning, I put it on, and I left an hour later feeling more inspired than I did when I started. I love reading and motivational books and going onto the internet and Googling great information. So that's a beautiful self-care practice. And so maybe just finding some podcasts, or if you would like some recommendations, send me a private message and I will hook you up with some beautiful podcasts based on the topic that you guys are interested in. I have lots of great suggestions. Take a course, join a community, find some peeps who are in the same alignment as you. There's some great online courses right now, you guys, that get you out of yourself, get you to show up, get you to be accountable. It's a beautiful, beautiful way to kind of step out of the funk or the blah that you might be feeling. I'm actually taking a course next week, and over the time that my studio's been closed, I've taken now 3 courses. It gets me out of myself. It has a purpose. I get to learn, I get to be motivated, I get to be inspired, and I'm always choosing courses that make me a better version of myself. The community around these courses are incredible. There's people on these platforms that are like-minded, and there's great friendships, great connections made through those. Okay? Spiritual self-care. Meditation. I'm not going to go too deep into this. I did a whole show on this. There are so many different types of meditation, but if you sit in quiet, and if you brought one word that you want to be more of, let's say you want to be more honest. All you have to do is go into a quiet place and say, my word is honesty. Show me how to connect with the energy of honesty. And you just quiet your brain down and just allow yourself to receive. That's one simple meditation that you can practice. But if you're curious about it, again, reach out. I teach meditation courses, and I've been meditating for 12 or so more years. I can't remember, but it's a daily non-negotiable. Non-negotiable, hands down. Changed my life. I will not let it go. Big one for me. Go out and connect with nature. To me, spirituality is in nature. It's everywhere. Trees, water, wind, snow, grass, mountains, earth. I know all of you guys, you have to admit that once you go outside, even if it's for 5 minutes and you breathe in fresh air or you take a quick walk outside, you always feel better. You always feel better. Super simple self-care practice. Go and volunteer. Get out of yourself and go serve somebody else. Never have I ever felt worse off volunteering. It's just like, oh, that was so beautiful to go serve somebody else. Get out of my own way and go serve. Now, this is sort of in its own topic because I don't know what topic you put it under, because I think it invites all of the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental aspects. Do a social media detox. Come on, you all. I know how much time is on social media. Put your phones down and go do some of these things I'm talking about instead. Track how long you spend on there, wasting your time, comparing yourself to others, feeling worse off. Now, if you're on social media finding inspiring people to follow and to listen to their stories and to watch their videos, that's different. You guys know what I mean. Okay? Social media detox. Let's do that. Now, here's another big, big one that I'm hands down, it just means the world to me. It's an environmental self-care. So this means that you're keeping your house, your home, your workspace, your bedroom, your outside of the house, your workspace, clean and clear from mess and clutter. Now, I'm a neat person because it makes me internally feel cleaner and clearer. I couldn't do this show at my office with a bunch of papers and a bunch of old dirty cups and dishes. Like, no. Huge. What could you do in your house today to clean up a little area that makes you feel cleaner and clearer? And it's a win-win. Look at how many things I can do for self-care. I can put on a podcast and go clean my environment this afternoon, so I have beautiful information coming into my space. I have a clean environment, and then I take a couple of breaths after. I've just done 3 self-care practices. How could you double up? How could you double up? For those of you who are already practicing self-care, how could you double up these? How could you commit a little longer to a longer self-care practice? How could you fill your cup in just a little bit more? Just when you think you're at the top, how could you space it out just a little bit more so you have a little bit more so it even flows over top? Physical self-care. This one's a no-brainer. Move your body, you guys. Move, 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 move. It doesn't matter how. The how is up to you. The how means you have to make it fun. But move your body. Get outside. Go for a walk. Go to an online class. Call your sister, your friend, and get them on Zoom and challenge each other. Fun, 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 fun. Make it fun. Do not make it a chore. Remember, I started this show by saying, don't go into any of this being like, I don't want to. Make it fun. Look at children. Children have fun all day long. They are engaged in play, imagination, and they are looking for the next fun thing. How could you bring that into your self-care practice? Well, it's not signing up for a spin class and you hate spin class and you show up and you're just like, ugh. No. Moving your body gets to be fun, vital self-care practice. Put healthy foods into your body. I know you know. You don't need me to tell you what to eat. It's a no-brainer. And I say this to my clients with all the love in my heart. If you, for 1 week, took all of the foods and the drink out that you know are not healthy and not serving your body, and instead replaced them with Mother Nature's foods, clean, fresh water, lemon water, teas, you would feel like an incredibly new, vibrating person. You know what you need to ditch, get rid of those unhealthy foods, and then ask yourself, why? Why am I putting them in my body? Why am I putting them in my body? Why do I not care enough about me to give me beautiful fuel and nutrition? Okay. Drink clean water. This is a filtered water. Don't drink tap water. Tap water has lots of stuff in it that does not serve your health. Clean water with even fresh lemon or lime to elevate its life force. And here's the last and I think another important one. Please get some good sleep. Don't push through one more Netflix show and binge when you're already exhausted and you have lots of stimulation and screen and light coming in. Go half hour before and go do some breaths, go do some journaling, go do some meditation, and get yourself set up for a beautiful sleep. Gratitude is a beautiful practice right before you go to bed. Whatever you do before you go to bed, you get to marinate in that all night long. So if you're watching a horror kill and shoot 'em up stuff, all of that energy goes with you to bed and you marinate in that all night long. Now, if you go to bed and you practice your gratitude, you can still watch your shoot 'em up shows, but give yourself some space to go do some gratitude and some breath. And guess what? You marinate in that all night long, and I guarantee your sleep is going to improve immensely. Immensely. Now, that's a very big list of self-care practices. You get to decide what you want to do. This is about designing something that gets you excited. Now, it's so important, you guys. Remember, you're worth it to care enough about you to start this. And that's just the thing. You have to be worth it. You have to say to yourself, I'm worth it. I get to do this for me, so I feel better. And guess what? When you start feeling better, everything around you starts to change. Your family will start to shift. Your coworkers will start to shift just because you are up leveling you. It happened to me in sobriety. All I did was decide to become sober. I was still a trainer at the time, and all of a sudden my clientele base was just like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, what is she doing? I want some of that. So all I did was commit to sobriety and start meditating and start self-caring. That's all I started doing. And everybody was like, ooh, it's an energy, you guys. It's an energy that you can't miss, right? You look at someone who's thriving. You look at someone who is living a life that they love. It's so attractive. It's so attractive. So I wrote down, these are 10 things that I've noticed when I practice self-care daily. And also I've got my clients' feedback on when they're practicing self-care daily. So these are the top 10 answers to what happens when you practice self-care daily. You feel more energy. Period. End of story. It is a whole new level. Increased productivity and excitement to take on daily tasks. Woo! Yeah, sign me up. Feel like giving more to others. Because when you do not give to yourself, it's very hard to feel excited to give to others when your cup is empty. You learn to say no because it's an incredibly empowering addition to your life. So for all those yes people pleasers out there, self-care means you say no when it doesn't align with you. Now that's tough, but crucial to self-care. You boost your immune system. You stay healthier. You don't get sick as often. You sleep deeper and better. I just spoke about that. Hands down, period, end of story. You crave healthier food. Like, I tell you, before sobriety, I wasn't eating great. I still ate well, but not great. And when I started self-caring after sobriety, after I started my sobriety, I just kept craving all these new different foods, healthy foods. Yes, it is hugely, hugely big. You smile and laugh more often. Because you slow down, because you take time, because you are giving to you, how could you not? Like, how could you not smile and be more connected to the world when you're giving to you, the most important person in your world? Hey? Overwhelm and stress is easy to go through. So when you're practicing self-care and you're slowing down and you're taking breaths and you're consistent with that, and you have something lamb-base you or come at you during your week, you're just like, cool, I got this. Because I have more life force to give. I'm not drained. Because when you're drained and something comes at you, God, Lord, help you all. You know, right? You know. You feel like adding new and uplifting experiences into your life. You have the space to add more. Now, this is what I leave it for the best for the last. When you slow down, when you stop, when you self-care, you create more space, which means you can welcome in more new. Because I know I've been at that space where, like, I can't do one more thing. Do not do one more thing. I can't. And now I'm like, I say no if I don't have the space, but I feel like I can bring more into my world because I have so much space from this self-care. Now, I've been self-caring, like, I chose this pandemic because my studio shut down. I was like, I get more time. Yeah, what ample opportunity to give to yourself right now. So for those of you who are having the more space, please use the space for self-care. And for those of you who are still busy, don't let that be an excuse for not practicing self-care. Self-care is self-love. And the more you choose love, the more your life will change. Have an amazing rest of your day. Please get a hold of me if you have any questions regarding self-care. If you need any podcast recommendations, any groups, I'm involved with a couple of beautiful groups. Oh yes, I wanted to show you a really quick book. This is Treat Yourself Like Someone You Love, 3 Tools to Make Self-Love Easier by Adam Roa. So you guys can Google that. Treat Yourself Like Someone You Love by Adam Roa. Adam was one of my coaches. I did a beautiful coaching group with him last year, and he just wrote this book, and it's perfect. Like, it's perfect. So go look it up. I'm sure you can buy it anywhere on Amazon or on his website. I highly recommend it. And I just want to say, be blessed today. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day, and I will talk to you soon. See you next week.